You drift through the endless dark. Your scout ship, the Starglider, is a speck of light. It is a lonely watch in a silent sector. For weeks, you have seen nothing. Just the cold glitter of distant alien suns. Your job is to confirm this emptiness, to add another useless chart to the grand stellar map. The ship's alert chime is soft. It is an unexpected sound in the deep quiet. A proximity warning. You check your primary sensor screen. There is something out there. Something that should not be. It is not a rogue asteroid or a pocket of gas. The object is perfectly still. It is also impossibly black. It reflects nothing. It swallows the light from your ship's forward lamps. The void itself seems brighter than this thing. Scans report its shape, a complex polyhedron, a shape that nature does not make. It is ancient. The material has no energy signature. It is dead. You run a deep material analysis. The results are nonsense. The elements are unknown. Its age is older than your star system, older than your entire civilization. You report back to command. Your voice is steady, but your pulse is not. Command is silent for a long time. They have no record of anything like this. Your orders arrive. They are simple and terrifying. Find out what it is. You move the Starglider closer. The object grows on your view screen. It is the size of a small moon, a silent geometric moon made of night. There are no markings, no doors, no sign of entry. It feels less like a ship and more like a tomb, a monument to something long forgotten. But you have your orders. A shiver runs down your spine, a feeling of profound trespass. You are about to knock on a door that has been closed for eons. The silence from the object is a warning. You decide against risking your own ship. A remote drone is the only sane choice. It is a small, six-legged machine, built for mining and delicate repairs. You arm it with a thermal lance, a tool designed to cut through dense asteroid cores. You hope it is enough. The drone detaches from the Starglider. It looks like a tiny firefly next to a mountain. You guide it forward. Its small camera feeds you a direct view. The surface is smooth, colder than the vacuum around it. The drone's legs magnetize to the hull. They cling there, a small bug on a great beast. You activate the lance. A needle of pure heat projects outward. It touches the black surface. There is no sound, no flash of vaporizing metal. The energy is just gone. It is absorbed without a trace. Your heart sinks. This crypt will not open easily. You push the lance to maximum power, a dangerous overload. The drone's own reactor begins to whine in protest. For a moment, nothing happens. Then, a thin line of red appears, a glowing cut, like a fresh wound. It works. Slowly, painstakingly, the drone begins to carve. You trace a perfect circle, big enough for the drone to enter. The process takes hours. Your ship's systems monitor the object. Still nothing, no defenses, no power fluctuations. It is letting you do this. The final cut connects. The circular plate does not fall inward. It simply vanishes. Behind it lies not darkness, but a soft, internal white light. The drone's camera adjusts. You see the truth. This is not a ship. There are no engine rooms or command decks. There are only rows upon rows of structures. They look like shelves. Endless aisles stretching into the light. You have not breached a vessel. You have broken into a library. Your drone crawls through the opening. It enters a space of profound stillness. The air is breathable. The gravity is a perfect standard. Everything is clean. There is no dust, no sign of decay. The drone's sensors analyze the atmosphere. It is a nitrogen-oxygen mix, almost identical to your own ship's life support. You guide the drone down an aisle. The shelves are filled with crystals, clear, glowing crystals of various sizes. Each one pulses with a soft, internal light. You maneuver the drone's manipulator arm. You gently touch one of the smaller crystals. It feels inert, cool to the touch. Then, a light flashes in the center of the chamber. A single pedestal rises from the floor. Upon it rests one large, flawless crystal. It glows brighter than the others. It seems to be calling to you. A silent invitation. You know this is the place to start. A welcome desk for a very old library. You move the drone towards the pedestal. As it gets closer, the crystal flares. A projection of light shoots upward. It forms an image in the air, a sphere of blue and white, swirling clouds over vast green and brown landmasses. It is a world, a beautiful, vibrant world. Then, a voice speaks. It comes from the drone's transmitter. It is not a language you know, but your ship's translation matrix works instantly. The voice is warm. It is calm and clear. "Hello, Finder," it says. "Welcome to the archive. We are humanity." The word hangs in the air. Humanity. The name of a species you have never known. The projection shifts. It shows you the creators of this place. They are bipedal. 2 arms, 2 legs. Their faces are expressive. They seem impossibly fragile. Their skin is soft. They lack any natural armor or claws. You watch them. The archive shows you glimpses of their lives. A male and female stand together. They hold a smaller version of themselves. They smile. The translator calls this a family. It is a concept your species understands only in the abstract. For survival. For them, it seems to be something more. The images flow like water. You see them creating things. They paint on flat surfaces with colored pigments. They shape stone into elegant figures. They create sounds, music, that resonates with strange emotions. There is joy. There is sadness. There is a depth you have never encountered. You see their world, a planet they called Earth. Vast oceans teemed with life. Forests reached for the sky. Deserts of golden sand shifted in the wind. Creatures of incredible diversity walked their lands. It was a paradise, a jewel of a world brimming with vitality. They were not alone on their planet. They shared it with countless other beings. Some were predators. Some were companions. The archive shows a human child. The small creature is sleeping. Curled up next to it is a 4-legged animal, a predator with sharp teeth. Yet it guards the child with fierce loyalty. This makes no sense. The strong protecting the weak without command, without biological imperative. It is inefficient, it is illogical, yet it is beautiful. You watch for hours. You see them laugh. You see them cry. You see them build communities. They help each other without question. They seem so small, so vulnerable, confined to a single, fragile world. You wonder how they could have built this place, this magnificent archive, older than your entire race. There is a disconnect between the gentle, artistic people you see and the star-shattering technology around you. The archive seems to hear your unspoken question. The projection changes. The peaceful scenes of Earth vanish. The blue and white sphere of their world shrinks. The view pulls back. It reveals their star system, their sun, their neighboring planets. Then it goes further. You see them take their first steps into space. Their early ships are clumsy, primitive metal canisters. They are powered by controlled explosions. It is brutal. It is inefficient. But it works. They push outward. They are driven by a relentless curiosity, a need to see what lies beyond the next hill, even if that hill is another world. The timeline accelerates. Their technology evolves at a terrifying rate. The clumsy rockets give way to sleek, silent vessels. They learn to bend space, to travel faster than light. They move from their own star system into the wider galaxy. They become a star-faring people. The archive shows you their true power. They were not just explorers. They were builders, star tamers. You see them construct a ring around a neutron star, a habitat of impossible scale. They harness its immense energy. They power entire civilizations with a single, captured star. They build new worlds. They terraform barren rocks into lush gardens. They seed life across dozens of systems. They did not conquer. They cultivated. Where they went, life followed. They created planets with crimson skies and silver forests. Worlds with two suns, where it was always dawn. This was their great age, the age of expansion. They were titans. Their engineering surpassed anything your people have achieved. They built structures that defied gravity. They created energy sources that burned for millions of years. They were masters of the physical universe. Their star science was a form of art. They did not just study the stars, they danced with them. They navigated the complex tides of star-born winds. They saw the universe not as a cold, empty place, but as a canvas. A place to create. A feeling of awe washes over you. You are a scout from a powerful empire. Your people rule 1,000 stars. But you are children playing with toys compared to this. The beings who built this archive were gods, not in power, but in creation. And yet, they are gone. Why? What could possibly defeat a species like this? Your drone moves deeper into the archive. You choose another crystal, one that glows with a faint red light. It seems different from the others. The main projection shifts again. This time, there's no grand vista, no beautiful world. There is only text. Much of the text is corrupted, blocked out with solid black lines, redacted. You see mission logs from their deep space fleets. The names of the ships are visible. The Starlifter, the Hope of Sol. But their mission objectives are gone. Their reports are censored. You find fragments. A ship's captain reports an anomaly, an energy drain from an uncharted nebula. The next entry is a distress call. It is cut short. Then, silence. Another file shows a science outpost. It is on the edge of their explored space. The last message from the station chief is just one word: hunger. A cold dread begins to creep in. This is not the record of a golden age. This is the record of a war they tried to hide, to erase from their own history. You search for files that are not locked. You find a data stream labeled First Contact Protocol, Emergency Addendum. It is a warning. It speaks of an enemy that does not communicate, an enemy that does not negotiate. It describes ships that are not ships, life forms that are not alive, a force that only consumes. It is a corruption in the fabric of space itself. This was their secret, the darkness they kept hidden behind their bright creations. They fought a silent, desperate war at the edge of everything. While they built paradise worlds in the core, they held back a tide of utter annihilation in the dark. You keep searching. You are obsessed now. You have to know what they faced, what they fought. You find an unlocked file. It is a tactical display, not a simulation. It is a recording of a real battle. You see the human fleet. Hundreds of ships. Graceful, powerful vessels of light. They form a defensive line. Facing them is nothing. Just a patch of empty space. Then, the space ahead of them begins to warp. It twists, it distorts. It is like the universe is being torn apart. From the tier comes the enemy. It is not an armada. It is a single entity, a vast, sprawling thing of impossible geometry. It has no discernible shape. It is a cloud of shifting, organic-looking darkness. Spikes and tendrils of black energy lash out. They strike the human ships. Where they hit, there is no explosion. The ships simply dissolve. They unravel. Their matter and energy are pulled into the dark entity. It feeds. It grows stronger with every ship it consumes. This is not an enemy. It is a predator, a cosmic horror, the unnamed terror. The human ships fire their weapons, beams of pure energy, torpedoes that warp space-time. They strike the creature. They have no effect. The monster absorbs the attacks. It heals instantly. It continues its relentless advance. It is a force of nature, a plague upon the stars. The tactical log ends. The entire human fleet is gone, consumed. The final data packet from the battle is an analysis from the human flagship. It confirms what you have just seen. The entity cannot be destroyed by conventional force. It feeds on energy. The more you fight it, the stronger it becomes. How do you fight an enemy that eats your weapons? How do you win a war against a foe that grows stronger with every blow you land? This terror should have been unstoppable. It should have consumed their entire civilization. Yet it did not. Humanity survived. For a time. They fought back. But how? You find another file. This one is not a tactical log. It is a philosophical treatise, written by a human named Elara, a first thinker. The title is The Logic of Hope. It outlines their new strategy, a strategy born of desperation and genius. They realized they could not outfight the hunger. So they stopped trying. They stopped building bigger weapons. They stopped throwing fleets into the void to be eaten. Instead, they fought a war of ideas, a war of creation, of impossible, beautiful madness. The file shows you their new weapon. It was not a gun. It was a seed, a device that, when activated, did not explode. It created. It would generate a complex cascade of life. In a single instant, it could transform a dead moon into a vibrant ecosystem. It would create forests, oceans, and millions of new living things. They deployed these seeds in the path of the hunger. The entity would arrive, expecting to feed on the energy of a star system. Instead, it found a sudden, overwhelming explosion of life, of information, of complexity. The sheer biological chaos of it was anathema to the hunger. The hunger consumed energy, but it could not consume meaning. It could not process art. It could not understand hope. When faced with a planet bursting with new life, the entity would recoil. It would retreat. It was like trying to drown a fire with poetry. It made no sense. But it worked. They turned their entire civilization into a weapon of creation. Their artists designed new life forms. Their musicians composed symphonies that could be encoded into planetary magnetic fields. Their poets wrote epics that were broadcast into the void. Each act of creation was a blow against the darkness. They held the line. For 1,000 years, they kept the hunger at bay, not by destroying it, but by building walls of life and beauty. It was the most insane and brilliant strategy you have ever witnessed. It was a testament to their spirit, a species that fought cosmic horror with art. But you know it did not last. You know they are gone. There had to be an end. A final battle. A last resort. You search for files relating to their home system, the system they called Sol, the one with the beautiful blue world, Earth. You find a single, heavily encrypted file. The encryption is different. It is not meant to hide the data. It is meant to preserve it. It opens. It shows you the final days of the human race. The hunger had adapted. It learned. It began to ignore the life bombs. It was no longer distracted by their creations. It started moving directly toward the heart of their empire. It was coming for Earth. The humans knew they could not stop it this time. Their fleets were gone. Their strategy of creation had reached its limit. The entity was coming for their cradle, for their home. They had one last terrible choice to make. The archive shows you the human leadership, not in a war room, but in a garden. They are old. They are tired. But they are not defeated. They discuss their final option. It is a plan of sublime sacrifice. They would not let the hunger have their world, or the galaxy. They decided to self-destruct their own star, their sun. They had the technology. They had the means to trigger a supernova, an explosion that would scour their entire system clean. It would destroy Earth. It would destroy everything they had ever built. But it would also destroy the hunger which was massing nearby. But it was more than that. The tactical display shows the plan. The supernova would be precisely shaped, focused, not just a blast of energy, but a wave of cosmic restructuring, a wave that would ripple across the galaxy. It would not destroy worlds. It would change the laws of physics in subtle ways. It would make the universe hostile to the hunger's very existence. They made a choice to save everyone else in the galaxy, at the cost of themselves. The final image is of their sun. It swells. It turns from a gentle yellow to a brilliant, terrifying white. You see the shock wave erupt outward. It consumes Mercury, Venus, then it reaches Earth. For a fraction of a second, the blue marble glows like a star. Then it is gone. The archive goes silent. The projection fades. You are left staring into the quiet, white light of the chamber. Humanity is extinct. They died in a blaze of glory, a final, ultimate act of creation. They destroyed themselves to create a safer universe for those who would come after, for races they would never meet, for you. Then a new projection appears. It is a single line of text. It burns in the air before your drone's camera. This is not a tomb. It is an arsenal. The words rearrange themselves. This is not a history. It is a blueprint. The archive's true name appears. Not archive, not library. The human word is Prometheus. The translator gives you the meaning. He who gives fire to mortals. This place was not built to be a memorial. It was built to pass on their knowledge, to give their weapons to the next generation of guardians. The knowledge to fight the hunger is here. Not just the life bombs and the poetry, but the physics of how to defeat it permanently. The plans for weapons that attack the entity's strange biology. The schematics for drives that can outrun it. Everything you would need to know. It is an inheritance, a gift from a dead species to the living. They did not just sacrifice themselves. They left behind the tools for their successors. They knew the hunger might one day return. They knew someone else would have to fight. And they wanted to make sure they were not fighting alone. A new voice fills the drone's speaker. It is different from the first. Older, weaker, but filled with a quiet strength. If you are hearing this, the voice says, then we are gone. But our work is not finished. The projection shows you a single human, an old man. He sits in a simple room. It is the control room of the archive itself. He smiles a sad, gentle smile. My name is not important, he says. I am the last, the keeper of this place. I have watched over it as it drifted through the dark, waiting for someone to find it, waiting for you. His eyes seem to look directly at you, through the drone, through the light years of space. The hunger is not truly dead, he continues. Our final act only put it to sleep. It is a scar on reality, and scars can fade. One day it will awaken. We do not know when, but it will return, and the galaxy will need a shield. He gestures to the crystals around him. This archive was our final hope. We could not know who would find it, what they would be like. We could only trust that life finds a way, that the universe favors creation over destruction. We built this for your hands, for your minds. He leans forward. His expression is urgent. The knowledge here is dangerous. The weapons you can build from it are terrible. They must be used with wisdom, with compassion. Do not become the monsters you fight. That is the most important lesson we can teach you. That is the human legacy. The last human's image flickers. The power in his small room is failing. The archive is yours now, he whispers. Our fight is over. Yours is about to begin. Be brave, be kind, and remember us. The image dissolves. The voice is gone. You are alone again in the silence. The weight of his words settles upon you. A burden of truth, a terrible, magnificent purpose. You retract the drone. You guide it back to the star glider. The small circle you cut in the hull of the archive is still there. A glowing wound of red light. You seal your airlock and engage your drive. You set a course for the heart of your own empire, for your home world. The journey back is a blur. You do not sleep. You spend the entire time reviewing the human data, their science, their art, their history. You feel a profound connection to this lost species, a species that died so that yours might live. You carry their last will and testament, their final gift. You arrive in your home system. You transmit the core findings to your leaders. To the Elder Council, you are summoned to the capital. You stand before them in the great chamber. They are beings of immense age and power. They have guided your civilization for centuries. They look at you with cold, analytical eyes. You tell them everything. You show them the images of Earth, the schematics of the star-taming rings, the tactical logs of the war against the hunger. You play them the final message from the last human. You try to convey the weight of the sacrifice, the urgency of the warning. They do not believe you. The Elder One dismisses your story. He calls it a fantasy, a hallucination brought on by deep space isolation. A species of soft-skinned poets who defeated a cosmic monster with art. He scoffs. It is the logic of a child. Another council member suggests you have been manipulated, that the archive is a trick, a trap laid by a rival empire. They call you a heretic for suggesting a species older and greater than your own. They call you a fool for believing such a tall tale. They order the data you brought back to be classified, to be buried. They thank you for your service, and they reassign you to a remote patrol route, a punishment, a silencing. They want to forget your discovery. They want to pretend the universe is the same safe, predictable place it was before. You are dismissed, cast out. You feel a rage and a sorrow deeper than any you have ever known. Humanity trusted you, and you have failed them. Your leaders are too proud, too arrogant to accept the truth. They are blind, and their blindness will doom you all. You are on your new assignment, a desolate watch on the far rim of your empire's territory. It has been months since your return. You have heard nothing more about the archive. It is as if it never existed. You spend your nights looking at the stars, wondering if the humans are watching, wondering if you could have done more. Then, the alert comes, not just on your ship, but on every ship in the fleet. A Priority 1, empire-wide warning. The long-range sensor arrays at the galactic edge have detected something. An anomaly, a distortion in space-time, moving fast, inward, toward your systems. The report is sparse on details. The sensors that detected it went silent moments later. But they sent one crucial piece of data before they were lost. A single energy reading, a signature unlike any ever recorded in your history. You check the data from the human archive. You run a comparison. It is a perfect match. The hunger has awakened. It is coming, just as the last human warned. It is moving with impossible speed. The projections show it will reach your first colony worlds in less than a year. Your empire is in its path. Your homeworld, everything you have ever known. Panic grips the empire. The Elder Council is in disarray. Their fleets are powerful, but they are designed to fight other ships, other empires. They are not prepared for a war against a force of nature. They throw squadrons at the advancing anomaly. They are lost without a trace. Their weapons are useless. Suddenly, you are no longer a heretic. You are a prophet. The council summons you again. This time, they do not scoff. They are afraid. The Elder One looks at you. His ancient eyes are filled with a terror you never thought possible. "Tell us again," he says. "Tell us everything the humans taught you." You are given command of a new initiative, Project Prometheus. Your only goal is to unlock the secrets of the human archive, to build the weapons they designed, to learn their methods. The best minds of your civilization are assigned to you. The full resources of the Empire are at your disposal. It is a race against time. The hunger gets closer every day. You work feverishly. The human science is complex. Their way of thinking is alien. They used intuition and creativity in ways your logical species struggles to comprehend. But you learn. You adapt. You begin to build. You construct the life seeds, weapons that fight destruction with creation. You reconfigure your fleets. You teach your pilots the logic of hope, the art of fighting a war with beauty. It is a massive undertaking. The re-education of an entire civilization. Some still call you a fool, but most now see the truth. They see the reports from the front. They see the darkness advancing. They see that the old ways have failed. Humanity's final gift is their only hope for survival. You are no longer just a scout. You are the keeper of a legacy, the commander of a desperate, final stand. The first of the new weapons is ready, a small ship retrofitted with a human-designed engine. It is faster and more agile than anything your people have ever built. You stand on the command deck of your flagship. You watch as the small vessel prepares for its test flight. It is a symbol of your new path, a fusion of your technology and human ingenuity. As the ship powers up, a signal comes through your private comms channel. It is from the archive. You thought it was silent, dormant. But a new file has just unlocked itself. It is a simple audio file, a final message. The voice is that of the last human, the keeper. But it sounds different now, stronger, clearer. "We knew you could do it," the voice says. It is filled with a warmth that feels like a physical presence, a hand on your shoulder. "We did not know your name, or what you would look like, but we knew your spirit, the spirit of life, of defiance, of hope." The voice echoes in your command center, a blessing from a ghost. "The first step is the hardest. You have taken it. You have accepted our gift. Now, make it your own. You are the new guardians of this galaxy, its shield, and when necessary, its sword." The message ends with a single, unfamiliar sound. You check the archive's cultural database. It is the human sound for encouragement, for approval. It is the sound of applause. You look at the view screen. The new ship streaks into the void, a silver needle of light against the darkness. It carries the hope of two civilizations, one that is gone and one that is about to fight for its right to exist. You are ready. Humanity's echo is with you, and you will not let the darkness win.